Chapter 5, Making Network Works. So in this chapter, we're gonna talk about OSI and 802 networking models, IEEE 802 networking specifications, and chapter summary and also the key terms. So OSI and 802 networking models. This is the concept of networking is almost as important as the real thing. Several proposed models sought to create an intellectual framework within which to clarify network concepts and activities. Of all these models, none has been successful as the Open System Interconnection or OSI reference model proposed by the International Organization for Standardization or ISO. This model is sometimes referred to as the OSI or OSE or ISO or OC reference models. So because it is widely used and supplies so much important network terminology, the OC or OSI reference model has become a key part of networking. The full-blown OSI SIM for networking has intended to elaborate from the reference model into a completely open system approach to networking. However, the OSI reference model took an unrevealed place in networking, while the rest of the OSI effort has disconnected or discontinued. This chapter covers the model's organization and its capabilities. Rules of a reference model. So driver creation of one or more reference architectures which drive the creation of one or more design which in turn drive the development of one or more implementation. So you can see the example on the right hand part. This is the example of rule of a reference model. OSI reference model. So what is OSI again? OSI is an open system interconnection model describes 7 layers that computer system use to communicate over a network. It was the first standard model for network communication adopted by all major computers and telecommunications companies in the early 90s. The modern internet is not based on OSI but on a simpler TCP or IP model. So as you can see in the left side, these are the seven layers that the computer system use: the physical, data link, network, transport, session, presentation, application, and how it's supposed to run. IEEE 802 networking specification is a collection of networking standards that cover the physical and data link layer specification for technologies such as Ethernet and wireless. This specification apply to local area network or LAN and metropolitan area network or MAN. So IEEE 802 standard, or what does IEEE means? It is Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers specification. So as you can see in the left side, the IEEE 802 standard was being identified or characterized. So I'm just gonna leave that for you, and you can just read those by yourself. So let's proceed to IEEE 802 extension of the OSI reference model. So it defines 3 layers, and those are logical link control or LLC, medium access control or MAC, and physical or PHY. It brings functions and considered a sublayer with a MAC layer. The LLC and MAC layers map to the OSI data link layer. So as you can see in the left side, that's the example of OSI reference model, IEEE 802 reference model, and IEEE implementation specification. chapter summary, and this is the summary of this chapter. And if you want to learn more by just summarizing everything, you can just read this slide. The key terms, this is the terms that being used in this chapter, and you can use, or for you to be more knowledgeable about the terms on it. So here, chapter 5 and here, so this would be the end of this chapter, and see you in chapter 6.